Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Still with us, head coach and founder of the Titans International Track Club, Michael Frater, the man who will now guide the career of Olympic sprint relay gold medalist Brianna Williams. Williams recently confirming her departure from longtime coach Atto Bolden from Trinidad and Tobago. Michael, you touched earlier on in your discussion about outstanding junior athletes sometimes not transitioning to the senior level and being as impressive as they were as juniors. The fact is, at 20 years old, Brianna Williams is faster now than the current world leaders, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Elaine Thompson, at a similar age. What are the things, well, first of all, that would make a junior star not be as good as a senior?
First thing is training. A lot of these younger athletes have been getting professional training from a young age. So there's not going to be much to improve on once they get to the professional level. And Brianna's been running very fast from a young age because she was under the guidance of Coach Otto. So, there's still a lot of improvement for her, I think. We think that, especially the last part of her race, we just need to work on that, get her strong. And there's certain technical things that we need to fix, which we think we are able to do. So, I think she's a very talented athlete regardless. And as I said, once you put in the work, then we'll get the results.
Well, obviously, you've had a lot of discussions with her, Michael. What about her transition to being based in Jamaica? Because she did not grow up in Jamaica, so she's not familiar on a continuous basis with what it feels like to live in Jamaica. I know that she's been here a lot and she loves the place, so that may not be much of a difficult transition for her.
I don't think it will be a difficult transition for her. She's been surrounded by Jamaicans all her life. And as I said, she's been visiting here quite frequently. And being a professional, you have to adjust with certain situations. If it's Jamaica that you're going to live or it's Europe you're going to live, you're not going to be what you're used to, but you're a professional athlete. You have to adjust. When competing in Europe, most athletes will be over there for like 3 or 4 months. It's not Jamaica. But you're a professional, so you have to adjust to the situation. So I think, with her doing this, shows her determination and the sacrifices that she's willing to make to get to the next level.
Yeah. Michael, what, from your perspective, is the reason for our promising junior boys being incapable of training on? I mean, when you were active, you had a whole army of Jamaicans with you at the big championships on the Diamond League circuit. There were Jamaicans everywhere in sprint finals threatening for medals. We all know, of course, Usain was there, Safo was there, and many others. But now the Jamaican presence is thin at these meets and in these major championships. What would you say causes that?
I think it's the discipline and the dedication. Most of these younger male athletes feel like once they get a contract, they're entitled that it's automatic that they're going to run fast. And that's not the case. You have to learn how to compete. You have to go out there and compete against the best in the world. And I think most of them, once they get, this lucrative contract at a young age, they think that's the end of it. They are satisfied. I'm not willing to make the necessary sacrifices for training and the dedication and the hard work that is needed to take yourself to the next level. And another thing is the training that they're getting from a young age. Champs could be the best thing for most of our local fans, but we have great coaches here and they're actually coaching most of these high school boys as if they are professionals. So by the time they're supposed to make the transition, there's nothing to improve on.
Asaf was only one example of someone who didn't medal at champs and certainly didn't win anything, obviously, who was spotted and fashioned into a world beater. But not even athletes like that, Michael. So I take the point and I agree that the big schools and the usual suspects when it comes to winning champs and competing for medals are treating some of these boys as if they are professionals. But I look down the ranks and see a guy who would have finished 5th or 6th in the semi-final, or who wouldn't even have come out of the heat, and you said, well, a coach would take him and build him into something useful. Not even that is happening where the men are concerned, my friend.
I mean, look at last year's trials. The best two not junior, but younger athletes that we see came through was Oblique Civil and Johan Blake from our club.
Yes.
Oblique only went to Calabar for 1 year. I think it was 1 or 2 years. He went to Homewood before. And he made the transition seamlessly. I mean, Hakeem has been improving as well. He went to Merlinati. It's not like they were going after champs or pressured after champs. And he didn't do anything at champs either. So I'm just saying that as an example that I know champs is very important, but there has to be some consideration for the future of these athletes, because once you start beating their bodies from a young age, it's hard for them to improve once they get to the next level. I remember training with a young guy coming out of high school, and when we were doing our program at the professional level, he was telling us that program was too easy. He's doing more difficult programs in high school.
What?
So how much can these guys improve once they get to the professional level?
Yeah, but so Michael, the obvious question then is this. What, if anything, can the authorities, i.e. J3s, do? Because if you've put your finger on the pulse of the problem to say that our high school boys are being exposed to a professional training environment, leaving them with the scope for improvement by the time they get to the professional level, aligned with the fact that the resources that they're getting, the monies that they're getting under their sponsorship deals is also spoiling them. What role does the athletics authority have in trying to make an intervention with how these boys are prepared at the high school level for champs?
It's a difficult one. I mean, there's not any one solution. I know I went through I saw what happens in the US system as well. And there are certain let me see if I can explain this properly. Track season doesn't start until January. So you'll not find anybody on the track being coached from September to December in high school.
Yes.
You can go there and do some things on your own, but there's not going to be an organized setting for high school training. But there's a difference. The high school championships in the States are not until June and May, while our champs is early. So they have to start training early. I mean, as I said, we have some great coaches here in Jamaica, and they have learned a lot. And I think they're just, they are doing the best they can do, because their goal is champs. So it's just, as a coach, you just have to monitor the athletes from a young age and don't overwork them, because we have seen it many times. You're not going to see many of the world-class athletes that we have come from the traditional high schools here. You hardly find somebody from KC, JC, or Calabar as the top Jamaican sprinter. But at champs, they are.
Yep. So when you started your coaching career, you started at St. Jago, right? You worked with Maurice Smith at St. Jago?
Yes.
Right. So you came through, so you saw the high school athletes there, and of course, you know what you used to do in your Woolmer's years. Would you say that where the boys are concerned, because the women seem to be all right, would you say that where the boys are concerned, we, the athletics-loving public, must accept that Oblique Civil apart, Johan Blake apart, a couple of green shoots who are coming through, that we should be bracing for more disappointment where the men in the short sprints are concerned at major championships? Should we expect the disappointment to continue for a few years yet?
No, I think we have an excellent crop of guys who are actually transitioning. As I said, Oblique Civil looks very promising. Johan looks very good. And if you remember, fourth place at the trials, I can't remember his name now. He went to St. George's. Didn't do well at champs either.
Not Jones.
Ended up running 10, I think it was 10 flat at the trials, or 10-0 something. And he has been improving tremendously under Coach Brahman in the state. So I think for the next few years, the next year moving on, we have a group of guys who are actually breaking out on the international circuit now. So I don't think we have long to wait. Next year, Oblique made the finals this year and got, I think it was 4th or 5th. So he's on the upside, which I think he should have actually gotten the medal. But, didn't do as well in the finals as I thought he would have. But these guys now are on the verge of breaking back, into the U.S. dominance on the men's side. So I don't think we should be worried anymore. We have some good guys who are actually looking very good for the future.
Yeah, just two more from me with you, Michael. I wanted to ask about, well, I'm going to save Yohan Blake for last. Let me ask about 800 meters running. How far away is Jamaica from having someone in a discipline like the 8 or 15, a man again? We saw what Navaski Anderson did at the World Championships. We saw him run well at the Commonwealth Games. Are we far away from having someone who is a serious medal contender in both those events? Or do you look at the crop of athletes that you have under your charge and believe that with luck and proper development, you could have someone who could represent Jamaica with expectation of a very, very good finish in one of those two events at the big meets?
Well, I'm not an 800 specialist. I am not going to, joke where my head can't manage. But I think with Navaski and the guys that we had at champs this year, the young guys running 148, I mean, it's trending in the right direction. It's just for them to find themselves in the right situation, the right coaching, and I think we have the talent.
Does that exist here? More than the talent, Michael, because you spoke about the coaching exists?
In high school, 148 in high school, like you're about, then, you should be able to challenge once you get yourself in a good coaching situation. I mean, you need to find yourself in a group where you have other athletes who can push you to a certain level. So if you have 2 or 3 guys who are basically the same 148, it's not going. You need somebody that's 146, 145, 144. Be in a group with guys like that to push you as well. With the right coach and everything to push you to the next level. If you're comfortable running 148, 147, you're not going to improve.
Yeah. Talk to us about Yohan now, because after what we saw at the trials, many of us, the Yohan fans, are saying, yes, the big man is back. It was underwhelming at the World Championships, disappointment, but we understood from the grapevine that there were mitigating circumstances behind the kind of performance that we expected better from. What went wrong with Yohan going into Eugene?
Well, what we knew was that he had picked up an injury in training. But knowing how Yohan, he did not speak about it. He tried to just block it out and just compete because, as you said, he looked very good at the trials. The championships was 2 weeks later. And unfortunately, that happened. But we are excited for what he has done, especially at the trials and the meets after, because he hadn't competed like that in years. And I think with him, he's excited to finally, realizing and having the belief again that he can run certain times, because confidence is one of the things that I think was holding him back. He wasn't trusting in his leg because of the surgery. He had a very difficult surgery, if anybody knows him and knows the situation. Most people would not be running, close to what he's running now. So I think he's actually made good progress. And it's just for him now to just continue on the same path that he's on now and just get himself together. I mean, at the Diamond League finals, he ended up coming second, but beating most of the guys that actually beat him at the World Championships. So I think, once he's healthy and, continues on this trajectory, he'll not necessarily get back to 969 or low 97s, but he'll definitely be in the mix to get a medal at the next World Championships.
And you speak about confidence, and people have to understand that injuries take a toll on the best of us, because you're talking about the second fastest man of all time, a world champion who has confidence issues, and it's obvious why he has it because of what he went through. You spoke about the difficult surgery, but you are conditioning him now, Michael. Are you telling the public watching locally and overseas through SportsMax's vast network that Yohan, you believe, can be in the shape to produce the quality necessary over successive rounds at a major championship to get into a final and then get on that medal podium? Because it's all well and good to run a one-off race and run well, but are you saying that based on what you know and what you see, this man can get back to that, running the rounds, getting to a final and medaling in a final?
I mean, what we have been doing at Titans, Mr. Gregory Little and myself, is basically condition our athletes to run around. And if you actually realize, Johan ran sub-10 3 times at the national trials. So rounds running wasn't a problem for him. It was just the injury and just, I think, the confidence. And I think he had, after running 9.85 and still has his back somewhat, he actually put some pressure on himself, to do that again.
And that, Michael, that's why I asked about the rounds, because I'm saying, and we're just talking frank here, because we want the best for the athlete. Being a champion at the trials at the stadium, among athletes who are looking up to you, among athletes who you know that on an average day, you're going to keep most of them at arm's length. On a good day, you're going to beat all of them. You know better than all of us that there's a difference in having that mindset at the stadium in Kingston as opposed to being at a major championship with some fast men from other countries in lanes beside you and handling that pressure. So that's why I was asking you the question about the pressure and Johan being squeezed and trusting himself, trusting his body, trusting the training that he has gone into to deliver across those rounds and put himself in a medal-winning position in the final. That's the perspective of the question.
Well, as I said, Johan has learned a lot over the last year. He wasn't competing much the previous years where he was going out and competing against these guys. One thing that you have to do, you have to realize that these same guys that are competing on the Diamond League and the circuit with are the ones that are going to face at the championship. So it would be good for you to get out there, win, lose or draw. You're going to know where you are compared to these guys. If you're beating them, you're going to have the confidence to know that, all right, I've beaten him before, or, we go back and forth, we trade wins. So, unfortunately for him, we don't know exactly what would have happened if he didn't pick up that injury. But he has made so much headway this year. He had gone on the circuit, won a few races, and was just trading blows with these guys. So, the previous years, he was competing sparingly. But, at this level now, you have to get back out there, mix it up with all these guys because you have to know where you're at. And, once you go out there and you start beating them, your confidence will go up. Your confidence is not going to go up when you're running by yourself in training and running fast times. You have to go on the track and win the races. So that's why some of the times you hear certain coaches says, times don't matter. You can go over there, run with nobody, and you run 9.6 or 9.7. But you have to do it with the guys who really matter. You have to go against Fred Curley or Bromel Bracey and beat them and run the times with them.
Absolutely so. Well, Michael, I want to wish you all the best. You have big talent on your hands now to add to the powerful stable that yourself and Gregory Little are building. We want to wish you all the best. And may Jamaica and the world benefit from the work that you and the guys are doing over there at Titans. All the best.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Michael Frater there, bringing this discussion to an end. Lance, I just wanted to say this, Mariah. When 1997, so I went to Champs once. 97, I remember my very good friend Claudius Smith, my neighbor actually, he was running for Old Harbour High, which of course you know is an unheralded school. But he made his way, fast guy, big, barrel-chested. He made his way to the final of the Class 3 100 meters. So he and I were talking before the race. He ran in Class 3 that year, I was in Class 2. Mm-hmm. So I was saying to him, boy. So we were looking at the start list and I said, boy, can we get a medal? And I said, boy, all right. So he said, all right, Frater off goal already. So it's about whether or not he could pinch something. Yeah. He finished fourth, a very, very close fourth. Yes. Mm-hmm. Very, very good. The boy never followed it up. He was very, very talented. But yeah, Frater destroyed the field. I remember his legs whirring and
So he already set goal for
him.
Yeah,
very proud of what he has gone on to become after being a high school star. Yeah. And he destroyed it. Were he not in that field, Claudius Smith would have had a bronze medal at least. Yes. Maybe even more.
It appears so.
Yep. Break time here on the SportsMax. We'll back with more after these.